percentage these days, again, we can debate that, but it's definitely there. So, but they're not in charge. In Trump, at the end of the day, what is he? Is he those things? Maybe he's.
Today we have a bombshell. The Vanguard has leaked audio of Cenk Uygur. Cenk Uygur appears to have some top secret plans that he's spreading about, and the Vanguard has some notes on it. Let's get into it.
Who was able to take part in this town hall or this Zoom call with Cenk and spilled a little bit of the audio from that encounter with Cenk, where he actually previews a pretty interesting but pretty pathetic, pretty hilarious plan for the future, in addition to addressing his recent change in posture towards the right wing. Some pretty interesting and quite revealing comments here that I think you guys are going to be very interested. And like I said, it culminates in an announcement here that is, I think, going to be a huge flop if it ever actually comes to fruition, which it seems like it will.
Yeah, I'm excited to listen. I haven't heard this audio yet. I've got the TLDR from my man over here, but I'll reserve any commentary until I've heard it with my own ears, and then we'll unpack it for everyone.
All right, let's take a look. And this is about 5 minutes of audio from the Zoom call. I did verify the Zoom call behind the scenes, so I know this is 100% legitimate audio. The reason why we decided to play it for you guys as audio and not the actual original Zoom call is because we didn't want to put all these random TYT members' face on the screen. You know, there's a lot of just normal people that were on the Zoom call, and I don't know if they want to be broadcast to our YouTube audience of, 2,000 live viewers, whatever. So we're not trying to, expose any of these normies, any of these random folks that are just part of the TYT army, right? So just in case anyone didn't want to have their likeness compromised, we did decide to release this as audio only. But with all that said, let's take a look.
Yep, let's get into it.
And for reference, Cenk Uygur is making a lot of alliances right now with the conservatives.
The Democratic leadership, in a lot of ways, adopts some of the far left positions and gets into the culture war. So now we're having these giant culture wars. Oh, perfect. Everyone's super divided. And God, we hate the right wing. And if you're saying, hey, Cenk, if you're on the right or the left, hey, didn't you hate the right wing? Oh, yeah, goddamn right I did. Didn't you say that some of the, biggest things, the harshest things against the right wing? Goddamn right I did. Okay. And so that's when we needed warriors. And I went to war, and I didn't mind fighting those guys at all. And so, and their far right has done terrible things and continues to do terrible things. Okay, so what has changed now? Is it that the right wing is perfectly great and we should go to the right? No. The far right is still the far right. They're still super dangerous. And there are different wings, guys. There's the ethno-nationalists. Jesus Christ, God help us, okay? There's still the fundamentalist Christian right. There's the guys who hate immigrants, hate trans people, hate this, hate that, right? So
I'm still trying to figure out which ones of these guys aren't the Nazis. Yeah, don't call them Nazis. It's bad to call them Nazis. You can't call them fascists or Nazis. And then he goes ahead and he lists a group of individuals that I think would tell you themselves. Oh yeah, I think the Nazis were pretty misunderstood. So still waiting for the groups, the folks we're supposed to collaborate with.
What percentage of the Republican Party is that? We can debate that, but is that a real percentage? Of course it is. Okay, and that's never gone away, and that's there. I think it's a smaller percentage these days. Again, we can debate that, but it's definitely there. So, but they're not in charge. In Trump, at the end of the day, what is he? Is he those things? Maybe he's one of those things, and maybe they have an ideology, and Elon does, and Bannon does. And certainly Bannon does. Bannon has an ideology, a third of which is, interestingly, populace agrees with us, 2/3. Terrible, right? So.
Yeah, one of those guys is throwing up a Sieg Heil. Can't figure out what his ideology is. He's the world's richest man, and he made his what was his name? Kekius Maximus. Yeah. Fucking everything.
And right now, it's not just one member of the Conservative Party that's aligned with them that's doing the Sieg Heil. That's exposed. We have Steve Bannon, who's also doing the Sieg Heil. We have multiple instances of neo-Nazism or fascism, and just more examples of that all throughout the Conservative Party right now.
He's saying the quiet part out loud. Next, Cenk is going to tell us, sometimes there's people with absolutely no ideology, like Kanye West. It's like, bro, they have an ideology. They told you what it was. They love Hitler. They love the Nazis, okay? They want to go on tangents about the globalists, right? And those people are a huge problem for the left because we actually care about humanity. Okay, they're not our allies. They're not just guys who are sticking their fingers in the wind. Do you know what Trump's ideology is? Trump, narcissism, whatever is good for Donald Trump in the moment. Okay, and what's good for Donald Trump is not good for any of the people who are tuning into this broadcast. So why are you gish galloping and talking out of both sides of your mouth to your own people on a private paywalled broadcast?
What I sense now is finally getting to the point that, and this is this, I think, what some of you are sensing in me, and what is causing some of the, ruckus, is I think that the right way to go now is peacemaker rather than warrior. And so, and now let me tell you why.
And imagine that being your takeaway, not only from the Democrats' humiliating defeat to Donald Trump, but everything that we've seen from this fascist administration since it's taken power, Zach. It's been swift. It's been brazen. There's been no regard for norms, laws, the Constitution, etc. And Cenk's notion, his big idea now is that, oh, it's time to lay down the weapons. Now it's time to be a peacemaker, not a warrior. Now, after suffering this great defeat, he's decided to adopt the ideology that to win, you actually don't have to fight. No, in order to win, you must fight. You must fight to win. That's like the number one rule of war, but also politics, to be honest. I mean, that's crazy to say that, oh, by surrendering, by laying down our weapons, and let's try the peacemaker approach, that somehow that's going to get us to where we need to be in defeating this fascist administration.
This is why you cannot
If you guys are enjoying Cenk Uygur getting exposed, make sure to like and subscribe.
trust Cenk. This is why you cannot take Cenk at face value. I used to, for a long time, sit in this chair and be like, well, Cenk is a mixed bag. He's 50-50. If you get him on Piers Morgan and he's talking about Palestine, he's really good. No, you cannot trust Cenk further than you could throw him, and I can't pick his heavy ass up, okay? I don't trust him at all. The reality is that this is an entirely incoherent political message that has only accomplished one thing, and that is to denigrate the left. That is to fracture the left. That is to impede the left from progress. First, he did that by dismissing and diminishing the horrors and the threat of Donald Trump and his rise and his fascist impulses. He did that over and over and over and over again. And he went on a right-wing media tour where he talked shit on the people who were doing the most to stand up to Donald Trump, like Sam Cedar and everybody else on the left. Oh, I can't talk to Mike Figueredo. Oh, I can't talk to the Humanist Report and Rational National and Kyle Kalinske. They're all scum, right? But who can I talk to? Patrick Bet-David. Who can I talk to? Ben Shapiro. Who can I talk to? Glenn Beck. All these horrible monsters. He's willing to break bread with them. And then on a dime, guys, on an absolute fucking dime, last night, Ana Kasparian is going to pretend that she knew that Donald Trump was going to do all of this evil shit all along, and it's actually the Democrats who aren't doing the right kind of resistance now. Now, Cenk has decided to abandon his he's not a Nazi, and let's give us everybody the Hakeem Jeffries response, which is, what are we supposed to do? Do we just have to twiddle our thumbs and let fascism overrun us, right? All he's doing is being like, okay, it didn't work when I just tried to jerk off the Republicans. Now I'm going to go for the second dumbest group of people who just want to hear me stroke off the Democrats. And I'm just going to rebuild from scratch and pretend I never, gratified and laundered the reputation of all these dopey, insincere Republicans, right? Like he did. And now I'm just going to go back to being like a lazy pantsuit nation resistance liberal.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see, because it's kind of bizarre and incoherent. He makes this statement, right? Basically admitting defeat, saying that, oh, I've spent all these years as a warrior, but no longer. Now it's time to be a peacemaker, which really just means, going to dinner with RFK and hanging out with Dr. Phil. That's what it actually means.
And Cenk Uygur has to make sure that Cenk is being liked by everybody. Cenk Uygur doesn't care about the values, of progressive values. He cares about how well is he being liked. He sees that these values are under fire, and he's completely changing up.
This guy's being a peacemaker, getting an invite to some cocktail party with Ben Shapiro so he can make peace, right? Pathetic, right? But so he's just said that. A pretty weird preface to the announcement that's coming. Let's keep listening.
The guy who started the war in a lot of ways initially, right? Yes, but okay, we've been talking on Operation Hope, especially for the diehards here that have been here for over a year. Or like, okay, yes, but what do we do next? What do we do? How do we put this into action, right? Well, I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do Justice Democrats again because it was so hard and we pulled off miracles and then it got misdirected, right? But we're going to do something along those lines, okay? And we're going to gather up folks and we're going to lead a charge. And so, and here's how that's going to work. We're going to plant our flag and we're going to say, this is what we stand for. And if you like it, come over here. And
So it's not over yet. We still have several minutes left of this audio. But that's I guess the announcement. He's restarting a new Justice Democrats. He's taking another stab at the Justice Democrats concept. Let's get some populists in Congress, not progressives this time. Let's get some populists in Congress. That'll really change.
So there we have it, you guys. It's no longer going to be the home of the progressives. The Vanguard is calling out Cenk Uygur, saying, you're going back into this Justice Democrats grift. It's just it's terrible to see what's happened to the Young Turks, what's happened to Cenk Uygur. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. It's another day in the progressive way.